night had grown late, and the wind outside tapped against the old wooden cabin's glass like an invisible hand. Inside, the yellowish light flickered faintly, the bulb occasionally buzzing as if struggling to breathe. I sat on the couch, clutching a yellowed book, trying to lose myself in its pages, but an uneasy feeling gnawed at me, slithering through my chest like a restless insect. The house was too quiet, unnaturally so, save for the occasional crackle of the firewood in the fireplace, whispering secrets I couldn't decipher. I glanced up, scanning the room. This cabin had been inherited from a distant relative, tucked deep in a forest miles from the nearest town. Faded paintings hung on the walls, their subjects staring blankly, their hollow eyes seeming to follow me. I told myself it was just the charm of an old house, nothing to fear. But then I heard it, a faint sound from the upstairs hallway. Thump, thump, my heart lurched, pounding as if something had yanked it hard. I held my breath, straining to listen. The footsteps were slow, soft, as if someone were deliberately treading lightly, but the creaky old floorboards betrayed their presence. My grip tightened on the book, my fingertips whitening from the pressure. My mind raced. I was alone here. How could there be footsteps? The wind, the house settling, but the rhythm was too steady, too human. I stood, my legs wobbly as if I were stepping on cotton. The air in the room had turned colder, so cold my teeth chattered involuntarily. Grabbing the flashlight from the table, I took a deep breath and decided to investigate. It wasn't bravery driving me, it was the unbearable weight of the unknown. I'd rather face it than let it chase me forever. The staircase was narrow, each step groaning under my weight as if pleading with me to turn back. My hand clung to the railing, slick with cold sweat, while the flashlight beam danced across the walls, casting twisted shadows that seemed to trail behind me. My heartbeat thundered in my ears, drowning out everything else. I told myself to stay calm, that it was just my imagination, but then the footsteps came again. Thump, thump, asterisk. Closer now, at the end of the hallway. I reached the second floor landing, the flashlight beam slicing through the darkness ahead. The hallway stretched long and narrow, flanked by closed doors, the peeling wallpaper resembling shriveled faces. The air reeked of mildew, tinged with something unplaceable, something rotten. My throat felt dry, swallowing like gulping down sand. The footsteps had stopped, but that didn't ease my nerves. It made them worse. Where was it? Had it stopped because it knew I was listening? I crept forward, each step a test of the abyss. My breathing quickened, my chest tightening as if something were pressing down on it. As the flashlight swept past a door, a low, guttural sound rumbled from within, like a growl rolling deep in a throat. I froze, my blood turning to ice, my skin prickling with goosebumps. That wasn't the wind or the house, it was alive. I don't know where the courage, or desperation, came from, but I pushed the door open. The hinges screeched, a shrill cry piercing the silence. The room was dark, the flashlight barely illuminating one corner. It was empty save for an old bed, its sheets crumpled as if someone had just slept there. My pulse hammered faster, a buzzing filling my ears like a swarm of bees in my skull. I turned to leave, but then I heard it, a distinct, heavy breath behind me, low and rough, like a beast sniffing the air. I whipped around, the flashlight beam flailing wildly, catching nothing. But the breathing grew closer, as if someone stood right behind me, their breath grazing my neck. A chill slithered down my spine, like icy fingers tracing my vertebrae. I tried to scream, but my throat seized, choking the sound. My legs trembled, barely holding me up as I stumbled out, running for the stairs. The footsteps erupted behind me, thump, 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 asterisk, no longer soft but rapid and heavy, chasing me. I crashed down the stairs, tripping into the living room, knocking over the table. Books and a cup clattered to the floor. I glanced back, and in the darkness of the hallway, a vague shape descended the stairs. It was tall, its head nearly brushing the ceiling, its form warped and elongated, like a stretched human silhouette. It moved slowly, but each step carried an oppressive weight, cornering me. Gasping for air, sweat mingled with tears, blurring my vision. My stomach churned, a sickening twist that threatened to spill but couldn't. I grabbed the poker from the fireplace, my hands shaking so badly I could hardly hold it. The shadow paused at the foot of the stairs, no face, just a mass of impenetrable darkness. I felt its gaze, sharp as needles piercing my skin, numbing me from head to toe. What do you want? I croaked, my voice hoarse and alien. The shadow didn't move, but a low frequency hum filled the air, like countless voices murmuring at once. I couldn't make out the words, but they burrowed into my mind, splitting my head with pain. I clapped my hands over my ears, the poker clattering to the floor. Then the light bulb flared once and died, plunging the room into blackness save for the faint glow of the fire. The shadow began to move toward me. I screamed, scrambling for the door, fumbling with the latch until I burst outside into the forest. The wind roared in my ears, branches clawing at my clothes like talons. I ran, not knowing how long, only that I couldn't stop, because the footsteps, thump, thump, asterisk, followed me, relentless, unending.
Welcome back to the deep dive, everybody. You guys sent in something really interesting.
Yeah, this is a good one.
It's called "Footsteps in the Dead of Night,"
Oh, yeah.
and we're going to kind of take this excerpt
Okay.
and we're going to kind of break it apart. I'm not
Okay.
going to just read it, and we're going to see what the author did
Got it.
to make it such a spooky, scary,
It's creepy.
creepy story.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of like
I like it.
pull back the curtain.
Absolutely. And this one is it's a masterclass in building tension. I mean, right away.
Okay.
From the first sentence, you're kind of on edge.
Okay, so let's set it up.
Yeah.
So we've got this cabin in the woods.
Classic.
It's late at night. The wind is like constantly
Howling.
howling, yeah. And it's kind of like tapping at the windows.
Okay.
And inside, you've got this kind of yellowish, weak light, like from a buzzing light bulb.
A single buzzing light bulb. Yeah. Really painting that picture of things not quite right. Yeah. And our narrator's trying to like escape into a book,
Okay.
but can't shake this like deep sense of unease,
Yeah, they talk about this uneasy feeling.
Right.
And it says, it's kind of slithering through my chest like a restless insect.
Oh, I love that imagery. That's so visceral, You can just feel that like crawling sensation
Yeah.
under your skin. It's so effective because it taps into our most primal fears.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, think about it. Wind, darkness, those have always been associated with the unknown,
Right.
with things hiding just beyond our sight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that weak light, it just amplifies that, right?
Yeah.
It creates these like shifting shadows, plays tricks on your eyes. You're not sure what you're seeing.
Makes you question.
Exactly. It bypasses all that logic, all your rational thought, and just goes straight to that primal fear response.
I see.
It's like your body is telling you something's wrong before your mind even catches up.
Okay. So then we find out a little bit about this cabin.
Yeah, where is this place?
Yeah, it's pretty remote.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
it's inherited from like some distant relative.
Okay. So there's no real connection to it. It's not
They don't really know much about it.
It's not a comfortable, familiar place.
Right.
Got it.
And there's these faded paintings with blank eyes that seem to be following you,
Oh, man.
like around the room.
I hate that. That's such a classic horror trope, but it's...
Yeah, why does that creep us out so much?
I think it's because as humans, we're hardwired to look for faces, right?
Yeah.
We want to see eyes. We want to try to read people's expressions. It's how we connect.
Sure.
But when you see a face with blank eyes, it's like that vital piece of information is missing,
Yeah.
You can't gauge their intentions. You don't know if they're friendly or hostile. It's just this like void staring back at you.
Right.
It's deeply unsettling.
Yeah, and it's not even a real face.
Exactly.
It's a painting. It's supposed to be just a harmless object.
Yeah. It should be harmless.
But those blank eyes make it feel like something much more sinister is going on.
Absolutely. Your brain is like, wait, something's not right here.
Right.
That shouldn't be looking at me.
So the narrator tries to like rationalize it away,
Like to calm themselves down.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's just an old house. It's just the charm. There's nothing to be afraid of.
That's never a good sign.
No. But it's almost like they're trying to convince themselves more than anything.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to suppress that gut feeling, that intuition that's screaming, danger.
So they're reading their book, and all of a sudden,
Oh, here we go.
from upstairs,
Okay.
they hear this thump, thump,
Uh-oh.
this very faint sound.
But
But it's like, in the silence.
cuts through everything.
That cuts through everything,
Yep.
yeah. And they even say, my heart lurched, pounding as if something had yanked it hard.
It's that physical reaction again.
Right.
That visceral response to fear. Your heart just like leaps into your throat.
Yeah. It's like their body knows something's up before their mind can even process it.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so scary, right? It's not just a creaking house.
Right.
It's something more deliberate.
So at first, they're like,
Yeah.
is it the wind? Is it the house settling? What is it?
Right.
But then they say, but it was the rhythm that truly unsettled me. Too steady, too human.
Ooh, that sends chills down my spine.
It does.
It's that uncanny valley effect. Like it's almost human, but not quite.
Right, and that makes it even more unsettling.
Absolutely. It makes you think, what else can make a sound like that?
So, of course, our narrator is...
they got to go see.
They have to investigate. They're driven by this unbearable weight of the unknown.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
Right, and it's not like there's some kind of brave hero or anything.
No, not at all.
It's more like they just can't stand the suspense.
That's so relatable, though, right?
Yeah.
The not knowing can be so much worse than the actual danger.
Right. So they grab their flashlight.
Okay.
And their legs are like wobbly. They're scared.
Yeah.
And they're heading up the stairs.
So every step is taking them closer to potential danger.
Right. And they talk about the narrow staircase, the groaning steps.
It's like the house itself is warning them.
Right.
Don't come up here.
And their hand is like cold and sweaty on the railing. The flashlight beam is dancing around, creating all these weird shadows.
Yeah, every little creak and groan is amplified.
Yeah. And then to make things worse,
yeah,
the footsteps start up again.
No way.
Closer now, it says, at the end of the hallway.
Oh, God. So it's not their imagination. There's definitely something up there.
Right.
Moving towards them.
So they reach the second floor.
Okay.
And they're on this long, narrow hallway.
Oh, I hate those.
With closed doors.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, every door is like a potential hiding place for whatever's making that noise.
Right, and the way you described it, this hallway sounds particularly creepy.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It says the wallpaper is peeling, and they say it resembles like shriveled faces.
Oh, that's so disturbing.
And there's this reek of mildew and something rotten.
It's like the house itself is sick.
It's not a welcoming place.
No, it's full of decay and secrets.
And then
yeah,
the footsteps stop again.
Ugh, that silence is worse,
It is, because you're just waiting.
Yeah, your senses are on high alert.
For something to happen.
Your heart's pounding. You're straining to hear.
And then
here it comes.
They hear this growl.
Oh, no.
From behind one of the doors.
Oh, God.
A low, guttural growl. Like an animal.
So now it's not just footsteps. There's something alive in there.
Right, something potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
And the narrator says they froze. My blood turning to ice, my skin prickling with goosebumps.
It's that fight or flight response kicking in.
Right, but instead of running...
They go in.
They throw open the door.
What?
Yeah, and they describe this, like, screech of the hinges.
Ugh, I hate that sound. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah. And, you expect, something to jump out at them or whatever.
Right.
But
what do they see?
the room is empty.
Empty.
So it's just an old bed with, like, crumpled sheets, as if somebody had just been sleeping in it.
So it's even worse.
It is.
Yeah.
Because now they have to wonder, where did whatever made that growl go?
It's like it vanished into thin air.
Right. And that's way scarier than just seeing, like, a raccoon or something,
Oh, absolutely. It's the unseen, the unknown that really gets to you.
So they're standing there in this empty room, trying to make sense of it all.
And then what?
They hear it.
What is it?
Right behind them.
Mm.
A heavy breath. Low and rough, like a beast sniffing the air.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. So now whatever it is, it's not just in the house.
It's right there with them.
Right behind them.
In their personal space.
They even describe it as like icy fingers tracing their vertebrae.
That's so chilling.
It's like they can feel its presence.
It's like it's almost touching them.
Yeah.
But they can't see it.
Right. And they try to scream.
But
they can't. Nothing comes out.
Oh, God. They're completely paralyzed by fear.
And then the footsteps start again.
Oh.
Yeah. And this time they're not slow and hesitant. They're rapid, heavy.
It's coming for them.
Like it's hunting them. So they turn and run.
Back down the stairs.
Yeah, crashing into things, tripping, knocking stuff over.
Pure panic.
And as they're running down the stairs, they look up, and in the darkness, they see this shadow.
Oh, God.
Descending the stairs towards them.
What does it look like?
They describe it as tall, warped, elongated.
Like a distorted human shape?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so creepy.
And the way they describe it is that it moves slowly, but with this like oppressive weight.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's not about speed.
About this sense of inevitability, like it's this unstoppable force closing in on them.
They're trapped?
Yeah. So they reach the bottom of the stairs, and they're cornered.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They're gasping for air, sweating, and they say they can taste tears. Their stomach is churning.
It's a full-body panic attack.
Right. And they grab the fireplace poker.
That's going to do anything.
Right. But it's like that last-ditch effort to defend themselves.
A desperate attempt to fight back against the unimaginable.
Yeah. And the shadow stops right in front of them.
Oh, God, what happened?
And they say it's this mass of impenetrable darkness.
It has no face.
No face.
Just a void.
And they can feel its gaze.
But it doesn't have eyes.
No eyes. But they say it feels sharp as needles piercing their skin, numbing them from head to toe.
It's like a psychic attack.
Right. And they say, in this like weak, hoarse voice, what? What do you want?
Hoping for an answer.
Hoping for some kind of explanation.
Right.
But the shadow doesn't speak.
So what happens?
Instead, they hear this low-frequency hum.
Oh, no.
Like countless voices murmuring at once.
Can they understand what it's saying?
No. But the sound itself, they say, causes them physical pain, like a splitting headache.
Oh, God. So it's like this sonic weapon attacking their mind.
They try to cover their ears to block out the sound, but it's no use.
This is terrifying.
And as they're standing there, helpless, the light bulb dies.
Oh, no.
Plunging the room into almost complete darkness.
Leaving them totally vulnerable.
And they can hear the shadow starting to move towards them.
Oh, God, no.
So they scream, and they run.
Out of the cabin.
Yeah, they scramble to the door, fumble with the latch, and they burst out into the night.
Into the storm.
Yeah. The wind is roaring, branches are clawing at them. But they keep running.
Can they escape?
They run into the forest, but they can hear the footsteps.
It's still coming.
Thump, thump, thump. Following them relentlessly.
So it doesn't end. The terror just continues.
So yeah, this excerpt is just so masterfully done. The way the author builds suspense through those sensory details.
You really feel like you're right there with the narrator experiencing every creak, every groan, every whisper of the wind.
Yeah, and the ending.
Yeah.
Leaving us with that sense of dread of being pursued by something we can't see or understand.
And that's what makes it so effective, right? It leaves you with so many questions.
Right. Like, what is that shadow? Is it supernatural? Is it some kind of manifestation of the narrator's fear?
Exactly. Is it real or is it all in their head?
We don't know.
And that ambiguity is what makes it truly terrifying.
So what are your takeaways from this? What really stuck with you?
For me, it's the power of atmosphere.
Okay.
The way the author creates this sense of isolation and dread through those vivid descriptions of the cabin, the storm, those unsettling details.
Yeah, like the peeling wallpaper and the reek of decay.
Exactly. It all works together to create this sense of unease that just builds and builds.
And then those subtle hints at something more sinister.
Like those blank eyes in the paintings, the footsteps, the growl.
It makes you question what's real and what's not.
Exactly. And that uncertainty is what keeps you on the edge of your seat.
So what about you guys listening? What did you think? What really got under your skin in this piece? And what questions are you left with after this deep dive? Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts.